Hey, Darren. Given the degree to which the team struggled the last time you played Minnesota a week or so ago, and how much better the team has played since then, do you see this in any way as a measuring stick game?
I mean, no. I mean, I try not to look at games like that. From where we compare. I mean, I look at it as like how we've improved from the last time we played. I mean, the Timberwolves came in here and imposed their will on us both offensively and defensively. I think we shot sub 40% from the field. Obviously, they put a lot of attention on Dez, JJ, and then they have numerous guys play well. Obviously, Mike shot the ball really well. I think Edwards got to the line 7 times. He shot the ball well. They're playing really well as a unit. They're sharing the ball. They got a number of guys playing with a lot of force. Obviously, Conley is a key playmaker, but Edwards as well. Inside out game. Towns with his drive, 3-point shooting, threats. Rudy gave us problems on the boards. We were trying to switch and he punished us on the inside. Alexander Walker did a great job defensively. They got a lot of depth. They're playing extremely well. Looking at that film, that was kind of an opportunity for us to really come together as a group, understand how can we impose our will more. Defensively, offensively, I've been proud of the group the last couple of games. Hopefully this is an opportunity against the best in the league. We're going to go out and play our best game, and try to, improve from the last time we played them.
Piggybacking that, in that game, cameras caught Marcus Smart, kind of getting after the guys and talking about what he was seeing out there, and then used the word embarrassing. The game ended in a loss, but you've won 3 of 4 since. Is it a stretch to say that Marcus Smart in that moment kind of sparked something that's kind of continued, that you guys have built off of?
I think it was obviously that was one of the moments. I think a lot of guys created sparks. There was one that obviously caught the eye. With all the cameras in the game. It was an opportunity to really get on the guys. We've been finding those opportunities. They had a great healthy dialogue. I think I said that after the game in the locker room, and then obviously came out and really poured a lot of work in, not just in one practice, but a lot of the couple of practices since that game. So it was I don't want to say a long time coming, but I think just having guys, we've been talking about communication. It's not just, after the fact or before the fact, it's in the fact. We've got to do that. So just really impressed with how the group's really rallied around, all season, but especially after that moment where I think that definitely was, the most disappointing, game of the season for us, where we had been competitive in other ones, just haven't gotten the results. Just really proud of the work that the guys have been putting in, just not in the games, but, prior to the games, all the priorities we're talking about, but how everyone's embracing that responsibility to really push this group, moving forward.
Hey, Coach, why do you think this team plays so much better on the road? Not just wins, it seems like they play better on the road than they have so far at home this season.
Well, I mean, thankfully we won our last home game, so hopefully we build off of that moving forward. Obviously, when you go on the road, it's a galvanizing opportunity. Obviously getting that first home win against Utah last week and then 3 on the road, we'll see. Hopefully there's not a stark difference. We continue to be the unit that's really just pushing each other. We're trying to find our groove, find our chemistry, find our identity, at the end of the day. I think the last couple of games have kind of shown progress in that direction. I think I said it a couple of days ago, we got to take leaps, but we're taking the steps right now, but how do we continue to take the leaps? And as I've said to y'all and I've said to the group, it doesn't matter if we're home or away, we've got to carry the same mentality, and hopefully we build off of the last home win and just continue to build off of the last couple of games where we're playing more like the Grizzlies that we expect.
Coach, in the moment, when you see Desmond Bane go off as he did both in Phoenix and in Detroit, as a coach in the moment, do you get a chance to enjoy those moments, or are you just so concerned about the next play and the next possession?
Yeah, I mean, you got to acknowledge it because that helps fuel my next play mentality. Is he was on a heater for sure. Obviously, really proud of his effort. Obviously, we've been leaning on him a lot this season, and as I've said, teams are going to throw a lot of different things at him. And even over the course of that game against Detroit, they started adjusting later with some of their switches, but he was able to just be in full force. He attacked in transition, attacked in one-on-one settings, attacked in the pick and roll. So obviously you're going to enjoy when a guy's playing that well because he's actually reading the game so well and finding his opportunities to score. I think he also had a number of assists too, so really impressed with that. That fuels me to really understand when a guy's playing extremely well. I always say, how do you put them in the most successful spots? And I think the team did a really good job too playing off of him. I think even when he was off the floor, we built a lead as well. But how we got different guys involved to get him into his spots and allowed him to be that playmaker, and obviously, a heck of a scoring night for him as well.
And what are you hoping that the Grizzlies will take home this time from their game? And what are you hoping that they'll do differently than from the last game that they had?
Yeah, the biggest thing we talked about this morning is we got to have a different edge. Obviously, the Timberwolves came in here and punked us. You know, you got to acknowledge that they played extremely well, offensively and defensively. You know, we've got to have our edge. We got to have our level of physicality. There's definitely going to be a game plan discipline. You know, every single night, especially this team, how well they're playing offensively. You know, our ball movement and the pace that we're playing at, better and fast break. We've got to exploit that. You know, against a team that's elite in the half court defensively. So obviously, we got to recognize a couple games ago, this team came on our home floor and took care of business in a fashion that we can accept. And we got to come out with a different edge, different urgency. And it was a great approach to shoot around, but now we got to carry that over to 7 o'clock tonight.
Taylor, as we get closer to Ja's return, how is he ramping up coming up to that game? And do you expect him to play the first game he's eligible, or will y'all take a couple of days to get ready?
No, I mean, everything, you know, I gotta say, he's been unbelievable with this process. I mean, it's been a lengthy process, but every stage and every phase of the return to play and, you know, getting the opportunities with his teammates in practice, he's getting more of those in the last couple of sessions. You know, been playing 5-on-5. You know, we've got a schedule over the next couple of weeks to get him those opportunities, whether it's in our practice settings, it's outside of that, you know, the play groups like we talked about. But he's been awesome. I expect him, you know, to be full go, you know, come game 26. So he's really excited. He understands the process that's gotten him here, all the work that he's been putting in, not just in his game, but his body, and obviously the chemistry building with his teammates throughout practice. And these play groups are going to hopefully give him the best chance to be as prepared as possible. And then once he gets his first game going, you know, we'll still need to build chemistry and rhythm and all that stuff, game conditioning and whatnot. But he's pushing himself extremely hard right now.
With how Minnesota's been defending, what do you do to attack that maybe differently than the last game?
Yeah, I mean, we got to play faster. I mean, we played too slow of a game. I think our half-court offense rated in like the 70s. So we didn't play as fast. We got to exploit that. You know, more stops will help us. I mean, they scored, I think, 120 points. So more defensive activity, get out in transition. Then offensively, they put a lot of pressure on Dez. They put a lot of pressure on JJ. So making sure, you know, we're getting them free and open, giving their pick and roll coverages and post coverages. And then obviously we just need ball movement. This team really is aggressive in the pick and roll combinations, really aggressive in their weak side activity, and we just got to have really good ball movement. Seen that a lot in the most recent games. You know, we just keep talking about the energy of our offense, the energy of the ball movement. We're going to need that on full display against the top defense in the league. Great. Thanks everybody.